Breaking up with Lan seemed like fate's design. Lan was actually a wonderful girl, impeccable in both looks and personality. I know many people laughed at how foolish I was, but I still broke up with her, even though I was so reluctant. The first day after the breakup, Lan woke up very late. The dorm supervisor came in 3 times, each time seeing her curled up motionless on her bed, covered by the covers. The supervisor didn't say anything, just sighed and gently closed the door. When Lan finally got up, it was already 11 o'clock. She couldn't attend her morning classes. In the bathroom mirror, she saw a haggard face with tear stains at the corners of her eyes. With nothing to do and being alone in the dorm, Len went downstairs to the cafeteria to buy lunch for some of her friends. She ordered 3 delicacy tofu, sweet and sour pork ribs, scrambled eggs with tomatoes, and celery and fish fillets. All my favorite dishes. There was still some time before their get out of class ended. Lan sat there blankly, staring at the dishes, lost in thought. She didn't even notice me quietly sitting down at the table next to her. The restaurant gradually filled up. Xiaomu and her friends came over to Lan, chatting and laughing, but stopped laughing when they saw her like that. Xiaomu immediately remarked how delicious the food was, but Lan didn't say anything. They exchanged glances and started eating, occasionally interjecting with trivial conversation. A couple at the opposite table were openly flirting, oblivious to everyone else. But Lan remained unmoved, chewing only a single grain of rice the entire time, never touching a single bite of food. The day after breaking up with Lan, she appeared at a bar in the West District, heavily made up and dressed provocatively. Lan sat at the bar, drinking 1 glass of unknown liquor after another. A dozen empty bottles lined the bar, but Lan wouldn't let the owner remove them, stubbornly chugging the scalding liquid down her throat. The bar reverberated with hazy electronic music, and the dance floor echoed with wanton screams. Len swayed rhythmically to the music, when a man approached her with ill intent, saying,
"Miss, you're so beautiful."
Really?
She looked at the man, who was old enough to be her father, with ambiguous eyes. Then the man said,
"Miss, you're drunk. Do you want me to drive you home?"
Sure.
With a cold laugh, she grabbed a glass and poured it on the man's face. The man was furious and raised his hand to slap Lan, but several strong hands grabbed him, almost pinning him to the ground. It turned out that Xiaomu had brought several boys from her class to this place. Xiaomu said,
Lan, don't do this. It breaks our hearts to see you like this.
Don't worry about me. Let me drink myself to death.
Len refused to leave, so the boys dragged her out of the bar and shoved her into a taxi. I knew everything that happened in the bar because I was sitting in a dimly lit corner, watching Len the whole time. Len was dragged back to the dorm just a minute before closing time. She was thrown onto the bed, still yelling that she wanted to drink more, and then she lost consciousness. 4 days after breaking up with Lan, she had been lying in a hospital bed for 2 days. It turned out she had been unconscious since that night she got drunk, constantly calling my name in her delirium. Xiaomu and the others took turns looking after her at the hospital. 6 days after breaking up with Lan, I thought I should go back to her. I stood by her bedside, her pale face contrasting against the white sheets. I silently stayed with her all night, only leaving quietly when she was about to wake up. 6 days after breaking up with Lan, she was discharged from the hospital. The first thing Lan did after being discharged from the hospital was to lock herself in the bathroom for several hours. When she came out, her roommates exclaimed how clean she was. The usually cheerful Lan became quiet and withdrawn, her face always bearing a cold expression, or perhaps more accurately, aloofness. Her close friends knew that Lan hadn't forgotten me and was still reminiscing about our past relationship. Lan began to study incredibly hard, spending every day in the library until closing time. Her grades improved dramatically, and she excelled in her student council duties, earning high praise from teachers and classmates. The year after our breakup, Lan was elected as the new student council president for her department. I knew this was no easy feat, as she was a girl. Knowing the weight of her responsibility, Lan studied even harder. At the beginning of her junior year, she was already preparing for graduate school. Naturally, Lan became a prominent figure in the department. Her class advisor used her and several other students as role models when educating freshmen. Before graduation, several well-known companies wanted to sign contracts with her. 3 years after breaking up with Lan, she successfully entered a prestigious university to pursue a master's degree. Lan was never short of suitors more outstanding than me, but she ignored them all except for a boy named Ling. She only treated him like an older brother, and nothing ever happened between them. However, to others, their relationship seemed quite ambiguous. 9 years after breaking up with Lan, I received news that she was getting married. The groom was late, 2 weeks before the wedding. Lan sat on the brand new sofa in the living room of their new house, writing wedding invitations for relatives and friends. A happy smile graced her face, making her even more charming. I knew many people would receive Lan's invitations, except me. Lan opened each large red invitation, printed with a golden double happiness symbol, solemnly writing the names of the bride and groom on them. When Lan wrote the 20th invitation, I froze. On those 20 invitations, my name was prominently displayed as the groom, and Lan didn't seem to be stopping. My tears finally fell. It was the first time I cried in the 9th year since our breakup, and Lan wouldn't see them. No one would, because ghosts don't cry. If time could turn back, I would never have jaywalked in a hurry, causing my soul to leave my body. And that day happened to be Lan's birthday. I was also carrying a Christine cake.